Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Merry Christmas. It's Diego, and it's time for another fantastic live stream here on your YouTube channel, your Green Card K1 Visa Spousal Visa channel. Remember, I don't give you legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. I'm not an immigration attorney. It's December 25th, 2025, about 9 minutes past 5 p.m. Central Time here in the Panhandle of Florida, and it's time for a live stream for those folks who may not have family. They may be celebrating by themselves because they've been separated by this green card process, by this K1 visa process. So I'm on the live stream to hang out with you guys because of this family separation. But remember this, it's almost 2026, and as long as you qualify for the benefit, you're going to get your K1 visa, you're going to get your green card. Okay, and you're going to get your spousal visa. Now, I'm going to dedicate this live stream to a YouTuber named Adam the Woo. Adam the Woo was one of the pioneers on YouTube. He first started live streaming back in 2009, before live streaming, before making videos was even popular. And he passed away December 22nd, 2025 in Celebration, Florida, which is close to Orlando, after he spent a month or so, almost a month, traveling around Europe, visiting Italy, Malta, Switzerland, etc., posting videos about his adventures. It's got nothing to do with immigration. It had nothing to do with K1 visas, but Adam the Woo was one of the first folks that I ever watched on YouTube, and his presence on this YouTube channel gave me the ideas. He was one of my mentors on putting videos together back in the beginning. When I started the cooking channel, I got the idea from Adam the Woo. I said, if he can do it, I can do it. So anyway, this live stream is dedicated to Adam the Woo and his family. He was born in Mississippi, I believe, and then was raised around different cities. His father was a preacher, mother was a bus driver for the schools system, and then Adam the Woo was basically in poverty. He had nothing, living in his van when he started his YouTube channel. He had absolutely nothing. He was broke. All he had was probably lucky to have gas money and money for the next Big Mac. And he went on to become very popular on YouTube, and he inspired me to do this. I mean, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd be doing a YouTube channel. I started out with a cooking channel, then I made videos in Colombia, South America, with my beautiful wife Karina, and then after I started the Colombia channel, Exploring Colombia, I basically just changed it to a green card K1 visa channel to help you guys. But the inspiration for this whole thing, besides helping you get your green cards, was Adam the Woo. And like I said, he started out in basic. He had nothing. He had no money. He was living in his van, scraping money together, part-time jobs for gas money, and he ended up making, I think, probably close to $5 million as a YouTuber. I think he made about $5 million, somewhere like that. That was his net worth. But you never would know it. He never changed his character. He never changed his personality. Money didn't change him. He was still Adam the Woo. If you get a chance to watch some of his videos, go ahead, watch some of his videos. And let's get on with this live stream. This live stream is a Christmas Day live stream regarding K1 visas, green card, spousal visas. If you have any questions, if you want me to help you with your green card, if you want me to help you get your K1 visa, that's why I'm here. James McLean, hello Diego. We are working on the adjustment of status paperwork. How much should we expect to pay in filing fees? Well, if it's just one person, if you are filing a green card for one person and you're a family of two, okay, it's going to be $1,440. And that includes the biometrics fee. So if you are filing for one person for a green card, for a 2-year green card, is $1,440 as of now, December 25th. That could change in 2026, but it's and then you're going to be having to pay for gas, I guess, to go to the biometrics appointment. But the $1,440 includes the fee for the biometrics, so you don't have to pay a separate biometrics fee. It's all included in that one fee, and you're going to use Form G1650 to pay for it. G1650. Okay, that's a USCIS form. Go on to the uscis.gov/forms, look for that form, print it, download it, print it, and fill it out. You can fill it out on your computer. And it's a debit bank extraction form, I guess you'd call it. So once you've filled out the Form G1650, you're going to fill out the amount for $1,440 for one person, okay? Then when the bank's open after the Christmas holidays, go to your bank with that form and explain, besides the 485 and the 864 and the 693, go to your bank and say you're going to be paying for a green card application. Make sure your bank doesn't block the charge. They will go into their computer, look at the G1650, and annotate in their computer to expect this charge from immigration. James McLean, does the adjustment of status require an updated medical exam? How can we find an approved doctor for this? Yes, James McLean, you must repeat the medical exam, and a brand new medical exam must be completed using Form 693, and your beneficiary must have a recertified vaccination paperwork filled out by the doctor, recertified. All the vaccinations are in place, and you can Google. You can use Google right here. I just type it in. I don't know how to spell Google. You can use Google civil surgeon right here. I'll type it for you, and then the city where you live, and then you can put in there for green card. Do that. Okay, well, it's easy. So you're going to type in, you're going to go into Google or Explorer or whatever you use for your internet searching. Go into look for civil surgeon for a green card for Atlanta, Georgia. Excuse me, Atlanta, Georgia. So you type in Atlanta, Georgia, green card, medical exam, civil surgeon, something like that. And I can do it right here. I could do it for you right here. It's not hard. And what will happen is you will get a list of doctors that have been authorized by the U.S. State Department to conduct medical exams for 2-year green cards. But you only have to do the medical exam one more time. Okay? You get ready. Don't file your green card application without the 693. You must repeat the medical exam, because if you don't, you're going to get either a denial for the green card or a request for further evidence. They're going to say, where is it? Where's the medical exam? Okay? It's better, just get it done. Go do what I said. Go into Google or Explorer or whatever you use for your internet searches and type in green card, 2-year green card, civil surgeon for medical exam, Atlanta, Georgia, and you'll get a list of doctors. It will pop up. And then pick one that's closest to where you live. And then call them up and say, hey, I'd like to set an appointment for my wife from whatever country, and say for a green card medical exam, okay, and a recertification of her vaccinations. The administrative assistant that is in the doctor's office that's authorized to do this will fill out the 693 for you. And all you got to do is go to the medical exam, and then the doctor will sign the 693 and ask for 2 sealed copies. One sealed copy will be for immigration for your 2-year green card application. The other sealed copy is going to be a backup in case immigration loses your medical exam. So you're going to have a backup copy. and your insurance will not pay for the medical exam. You're going to have to pay for the medical exam, put it on your credit card, write a check, pay it out of your own pocket. Okay? The medical exam is paid for by the sponsor, not by the sponsor's insurance, medical insurance. Okay? You got it? Any questions? I want to make sure you understand all that. Because if you don't follow those directions that I just gave you, you're going to have immigration problems. And I don't want that to happen. I want to see you get this all done correctly the first time. So you're going to fill out, your wife is going to fill out the 485. You no problem. James McLean, I'm here to help you. I want to see you get the green card done the right way and without any mistakes. And you're going to fill out a 485 with your beneficiary. She's going to fill out the 485. You can help her with it. You're going to fill out the 864, the Declaration of Financial Support. It's actually the affidavit of support when you go for the green card. And it's the 484. And then you're going to get the civil surgeon to sign off on a brand new 693. Get 2 copies, one for you and one for the green card application. That's for a family of 2. Once you've submitted to a 2-year green card application, then you need to keep on collecting the evidence for the 10-year green card. They're lifting the conditions with Form 751, which will be 90 days before your 2-year green card expires when she gets it. When your wife gets her 2-year green card, okay, don't be surprised if you have to go to a green card interview, and don't panic. Once you've submitted your green card application, you're going to get a letter for biometrics. Okay? Don't miss the biometrics appointment. Don't be late. Don't forget about it. Be there. If you don't go to the biometrics appointment, the green card application will be denied. Okay? So you file for your 2-year green card. You get a letter in about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. For the biometrics appointment. You go to the biometrics appointment, fingerprints, that photo of the face, full signature. Boom. It's easy. James McLean, she's from Nigeria and partially banned country here on the K1. Don't worry about that. That's going to be litigated with immigration attorneys. They're going to unblock that unconstitutional garbage. When her 94 expires, as long as we filled out the AOS, you'll have legal status to remain here. That's correct. Yeah, you're fine. You got it, but you must file for the only thing that's happened is that people from those countries, including my beautiful wife Karina from Venezuela, those countries are on a 90-day pause. Got an itch right there. 90-day pause. So March 2nd, the 90-day pause is over. But on December 31st, immigration attorneys, very powerful, very rich immigration attorneys all around the world, all around the United States, actually, are going to be filing lawsuits against USCIS because the Congress of the United States put together a program where USCIS adjudicates green cards. Okay? They don't stop doing that just because somebody somewhere in the government says we're going to stop adjudicating green cards from this country or from this country. That's not how the Congress works. So don't worry, James McLean, you're going to be okay. File for the 2-year green card. It's going to sit on a desk. It's going to sit in an office somewhere for a while and let the legal process play out. And then USCIS is going to get a spanking from lots of immigration attorneys. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Francois and Hamid. We hope you're having a very happy Christmas here with Hamid in upstate New York. Hopefully it's not too cold where you are. Here in Florida, let me see, it's 66 degrees. Nice day today. It was almost 70-something degrees. And the weather's great here. That's why we live in Florida. I don't like snow. Some people love snow. Personally, I don't like snow. I don't want anything to do with snow, okay? Or ice, or freezing cold, or high heating bills. I don't have the heat on. It's not necessary because it's nice and warm in the house. But if you are from one of those 19 countries, okay, that has an executive order was signed to block adjudication on those countries for a re-review, immigration attorneys are going to jump on that. And if you want, if you have any pending if you have any pending green cards with immigration, if you're from one of those 19 countries or 20 countries, or however many countries it is, and you have pending applications sitting at USCIS that are currently on hold, immigration attorneys are going to go after the USCIS folks and tell them to do their freaking job and get back to work adjudicating green cards, etc. Okay? It's absolutely insane that an executive order like that was signed in the first place. Now, we understand the security of this country is important. So how do you secure this country? Well, you adjudicate green cards. You do police background checks. You do biometrics. That's how you do it. You don't put everybody's green card on freaking hold and let it sit there and put people into mental stress and mental stress, I guess is the only word I can think of. You don't do that. That's when immigration attorneys come into play. Okay? That's when they come in and do their job. You don't need an immigration attorney to file a K-1 visa or to file for a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card. But immigration attorneys come into play when people in the government decide they want to jack around with families of American citizens. Now, what these Republicans, I guess, who are controlling this don't understand is they're not just jacking with somebody from a foreign country. They are messing with an American citizen's wife or husband who is a voter in this country. And when you start messing around with people's families over some security issue, these are people who may never even voted before. They may never have they may not even be registered to vote. But I tell you what, they're going to register to vote now. And come midterm elections in 2026, if they're still jacking around with American citizens' families, there's going to be a bloodbath, and the Republicans are going to lose their majority control of the House of Representatives. It's just what's going to happen. Okay, not just because of immigration, but because of inflation too. Okay, and I'm here to help you. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you legal advice. Okay, but I'm going to help you through this. I'm trying to explain to you. If you're from one of those countries that have been placed on an immigration pause, don't panic. The Congress of the United States controls the process, not the president and not an executive order. Now, granted, the president can sign an executive order and implement a policy, but it's only going to be temporary. Okay? And we understand that, President Trump wants to protect our country. We fully understand. But that's why you adjudicate green cards. That's why USCIS conducts all the background checks that it does on these people. Doesn't matter what country you're from. So, in my opinion, it's got nothing to do with the security of this country. It's got more to do with, I don't like these people, so I'm going to jack with them. That's just my opinion. And if that's the case, come midterm elections next year, and the Republicans are going to be cooked like marshmallows over the campfire. Now, I'm independent. Okay, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I support the politician that supports the Constitution of the United States. That's who I vote for. If a politician supports the Constitution of the United States and doesn't jack around with people's families, I'm going to support that candidate. That's how I roll. Okay. Now, this isn't a political channel by any means. And I don't care what party you're affiliated with, American Citizen Sponsor. But if your beneficiary right now is put on a hold because of President Trump, I want you to be rest assured that immigration attorneys are going to unplug the jam and restore constitutional governance to our country in regards to adjudication of green cards. That's what's going to happen. You know, Trump's been doing a great job with illegal immigration. He's done a fantastic job. I salute President Trump for securing our borders. But the minute he started going after the families of American citizens, green card holders, U.S. citizens he wants to denaturalize by the hundreds, he's toast, as is the Republicans that support that kind of policy. So if you are a Republican right now and you think it's perfectly okay to block an American citizen from reunifying with his wife or husband and children, then that's on you. But I don't support that. And it's going to be all over for the Republicans in midterms if they continue down this path under the pretense of national security. And James McLean, what about filing advance parole since she's from Nigeria? Why in the hell would you want to leave the country with an advance parole document? Why would she will leave the country? Why would you even want to file that $630 paperwork? Do you honestly trust this government right now would let her back into the United States with an advance parole from a country that's on a banned list, a partially banned list? Will she have a hard time re-entering the country? Why would she want to leave the country once she get what? Why would she want to leave this country? Now she's here and you got married and you're filing for the green card. Why would she want to leave this country? Why? For what reason? How long did it take you to get her K-1 visa approved? How long did it take for her to get here? Now she wants to leave the country? For what? A vacation? Let me tell you guys something. If you are from one of those partially banned countries or blocked countries and you are in this country right now, don't leave the United States. On a green card, on advance parole, don't leave the country. Don't do it. Karina's been in the United States for almost 2 years. She's from Venezuela. She has a green card. She could travel internationally, but we're not going to. We're not stupid. We have absolutely no reason why we want to leave the United States of America. It took, what, almost 3 years for her to get her K-1 visa because it was the tail end of COVID. Once she got her K-1 visa, she had to go through all kinds of security checks with Interpol because she's from Venezuela. She made it through the security checks. She got approved for her K-1. I accompanied her from Bogota, Colombia to the United States. She lived in Colombia for almost 6 years because Venezuela is a horrible place to live with Maduro as president. He's a fraud. He's a freaking communist fraud. And we've got the 20% of the United States Navy in the Caribbean Sea putting pressure on Maduro to leave, but he's still there because he's not going to bend unless there's some action. Unless Trump initiates action to remove Maduro, he's never going to leave. And Venezuela is going to continue to be a country ran by a dictator. Only about 18% of the Venezuelan people support Maduro. If that. If the United States military enters Venezuela, okay, they're going to be greeted with flowers and handshakes. They're not going to be facing a threat because the Venezuelan people are just waiting on Trump to free them from this freaking Maduro. Russia's not going to interfere. The communist Chinese are not going to interfere. They're not going to mess with Trump. I respect Trump for his securing the borders and for his strength of the military. And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, he's doing a great job as Secretary of War. But we have the 20%, 21% of the U.S. Navy sitting in the Caribbean Sea, taking out these boats that are trying to ship bad stuff to our country. The United States Navy are sitting there going, okay, we're here, Trump. Now we're here. What are we going to do? Continue to go around in freaking circles and use up all this, jet fuel and gas and diesel. The Marines are here ready to go into Venezuela to free the freaking Venezuelans from Maduro. What are we waiting on? We're waiting on Trump. If you are in this country from one of those blocked, partially banned, or banned countries on Trump's hit list, do not leave the country. James McLean, I don't trust the government will let us back in. You would be 100% correct. I wanted to plan a trip for her to revisit her family Christmas next year. Don't do that. That would be crazy. Don't do that. If you want, when today's Christmas Day, Karina celebrated Christmas with her family in Colombia in her phone with her WhatsApp live stream. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad, familia. With her family in Venezuela, who are waiting and waiting and waiting for the U.S. military to free them from this Maduro. He was a bus driver. He was a taxi driver. The only reason he's president of Venezuela is because of a massive fraud election. Massive. Okay? 90% of all countries in South America don't recognize Maduro as president of Venezuela. And Bolivia, they just had a big election and kicked all the communists out of their government. Now they have a government that they can trust. Brazil seems to be the only problem right now in South America. And Petro, the communist from Colombia, he's disliked by 75% of the Colombian people. Nobody likes Petro, the president of Colombia. He spent time in jail in Bogota for terrorism activities in the past. The only reason he got elected was because he was campaigning stronger than the Republican candidate. He's on thin ice, Petro, but because what's good about the Colombian elections is that you are president one term only. You have one term as president and then you're done. There's no second term. So Petro's done. I think they have elections they have elections in 2026. His ass is out of, he's done. He's done. And then the Colombians are going to elect a president of Colombia that's friendly towards the United States. And then the relations will be good again with the United States. So if you are in Colombia watching right now, okay, we know that the Colombian people don't have a problem with Americans. But we do know Petro is a big thorn in the White House. But Petro's done. His election's coming up. He's out of there. So Trump just needs to be patient with Petro and just be calm and wait out the time and let the Colombian people elect a president that's friendly towards the United States. And that's going to happen next year. Maru, Merry Christmas, everyone. Maru, what's going on, Maru? How's everything? How is your future husband doing? He's in Cameroon. How's he doing? It's almost 2026, Maru. Very soon you're going to have your NOA2 letter. January, February, somewhere in there, you're going to get an approval for your green card, for your K1 visa application for your beneficiary in Cameroon. Okay? And then things are going to move pretty quick. And then I'm going to be helping you with the consulate interview in Cameroon. I'm going to be helping you put together how the DS-160 with your beneficiary. I'm going to help you through the whole process for the visa interview. Okay? Don't forget, for the visa interview, Maru, you have got to have your tax returns ready for the consulate interview in Cameroon. Okay, so get your 2024 taxes, get those together. You try to file for your 2025 taxes January or February. Try to get it early. When you get your W-2s, your 1099s, you want to get those taxes filed early so that you have your tax return for 2025. Okay? So you'll have the tax returns ready for the 2026 K1 visa interview, the scary visa interview. Okay, Maru, listen to me. James McLean, don't be planning any trips anywhere until 2030. Okay, 2030. That's when you need to be planning a trip with your wife to visit her family. That's when you need to plan, because by then, the people who are currently in the White House and in the Congress who are going after American citizens' wives and husbands because they're green card holders, those people are going to be gone. Okay? And this insanity of deporting military veterans who are green card holders, this insanity of putting a quota of denaturalizing 200 to 300 Americans a month, this insanity is going to be gone. Okay? We have a vicious person in the White House. Vicious. I don't support him. Not anymore. I mean, I support what he did with illegals and kicking them out of here and deporting them and getting the illegal immigrants out of here and getting the bad apples out of here. But the moment he started going after legal permanent residents from those specified countries, now he's picking and handpicking people he doesn't like. I'm a military Navy veteran. I don't play that crap. When I was in the Navy, when I was a senior chief in the Navy, I had people who were working for me who were green card holders from different countries. I didn't single them out for bad evaluations because they were from this country. They did a good job. They got freaking promoted. Okay, that's how I roll, man. I don't pick out a person's nationality or the color of their skin or what country they're from. When I was in the Navy, if you were a green card holder, you didn't have a security clearance, I couldn't give you access to classified information. But if you did a good job, I would make sure you got promoted or good evaluations or recognized for your hard work. I didn't single you out. Oh, this green card holder is from Venezuela. I want to jack around with this guy. I want to give him the worst watches. I want to put him on the worst work details. I want to mess with him. That's what's going on right now with green card holders. Oh, you're from Venezuela? I want to jack with you a little bit. I want to reinvestigate your green card application to see if I can find something to deny your green card. Well, you know what? To those people that are doing that, it's out of spite. It's viciousness. And when I was in the Navy as a senior chief, I would not allow that kind of discrimination to go on my watch. Male or female. There was one time I had 1,200 people working for me. At one time. All women, men, all from different countries with green cards. And everybody was treated the same. Do a good job, I looked after you. Do a bad job, I didn't. So the Republicans right now, okay, if they support this unconstitutional attack on American citizens, wives and husbands, because they're green card holders or waiting for their green cards or getting ready to get green cards just because they're from a specific country, if you're a Republican that supports that, because I know Democrats don't support that, you're going to be in big political trouble midterm elections. Maru, I will definitely file my taxes early. Get your taxes filed as soon as you can. As soon as you got your W-2s, get it done, okay? And then make copies of your tax returns and then get the tax returns and your W-2s to your beneficiary in Cameroon. So he has them, okay? Chris, yes, we will win for Newsom of California. Governor Newsom of California is a full-blown Marxist. Okay, he spends his vacations in communist China. He's bad for the economy. He's just bad. He's anti-capitalist. Okay, And during COVID, he said you had to wear masks in restaurants, but it didn't apply to him. No, he's the elite Marxist. He didn't have to wear a face mask in his restaurant shindigs, and he got busted with people taking pictures of him. Okay? The California needs a new governor and a new legislature. But the Republicans don't seem to be doing any better than the Democrats right now. I really don't see any difference much between them. They both suck. Okay? And that's just my opinion. They really do. You got, I don't know. I'm just glad that I am a NPA, non-party affiliated, which means I vote for the politician that gets the job done, follows the Constitution, and doesn't put his or her boot on the rights of American citizens. I'm an American citizen, and trust me, if USCIS jack around with my wife's green card, her 10-year green card, I'm going to sue the crap out of them, and I'm going to win. Okay? I don't put up with it. Don't mess. My wife and I. Do you think a patriot like myself would bring somebody to this country that I thought was a threat to this country? Not a chance. There's no way on this planet that I would bring anyone into the United States who I thought was a threat to the United States. My wife's a patriot. Okay? And I want to protect her from politicians, from USCIS, okay? And you should too. As an American citizen married to a foreign national, you trust yourself. You wouldn't bring someone into this country you didn't trust, right? You fell in love with somebody, you want to marry this person. I don't care what country they're from. I don't care. As an American, you have a right to do that. They go through an adjudication process at the embassy and the consulate. They go through an adjudication process in the green card application with the biometrics and the FBI and Interpol and everybody. Once they clear all the hurdles and the security checks and everything, and they have a perfectly clean record, there is absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be issued a green card, as long as there's no fraud involved in the relationship, right? Zero fraud, zero criminal record, zero immigration violations. Here's your green card. Start your life here with your American citizen sponsor. Welcome to the United States. But right now we have a government that is absolutely vicious. Okay, detaining American citizens putting American citizens in detainment. Well, wait a second, I'm an American. Let me show you my freaking No, we don't want to see your ID. What do you mean you don't want to see my ID? I'm an American citizen. I was born here. No, we don't want to. I'm talking about this isn't referring to myself, by the way. I have not been detained by immigration, by ICE. But if they did, I'd sue the crap out of them. I'm telling you, this government is out of control, but it's temporary. It's temporary. Chris, can we vote for Larry Piercy 2028? Yeah, let's vote for Larry. I'm all in. Let's vote for Larry Piercy. Now, my wife, she can't vote because she's a green card holder. If you are a green card holder, you cannot vote. You don't have authority. If you are a green card holder, you cannot say you are a U.S. citizen to somebody. If you are a green card holder and you apply for a U.S. driver's license, do not register to vote. I don't care if the clerk at the DMV says, "Hey, let me register you to vote." You say, "No, thank you. I can't. I'm not a U.S. citizen." Don't do that. My wife got her Florida driver's license. They were talking about her registering to vote. She said, "No, don't do that. I can't do that." If you are a green card holder, carry your green card with you everywhere you go. When you go to the gym, when you go for a walk around the block, when you go to the mall, when you go shopping at Kmart, Publix, Walmart, I don't care where you are, make sure you have your green card on you. Okay? If you're going to go down the street to go visit your friend, like Karina's got lots of friends now. When we go to see her friends, her green card's in her purse. All right? Carry your green card everywhere with you. If you don't, and immigration pull you over, they're going to jack you around. Okay? If you have a job somewhere, like Karina has a fantastic job. Her green card's in her locker. So if immigration and customs enforcement enter her place of business and say, okay, we know that there are green card holders here working, we want to see their green cards. Karina goes to her locker, takes it out. Here it is. Here's my green card. Thank you, sir. Very respectful. But if she says, no, I'm sorry, I left it in the car, that's a misdemeanor. She'll be charged with a misdemeanor. If she says, no, I left my green card at home, I don't have it with me, but I can go get it. No, that's a misdemeanor. It goes on her immigration record. Don't do that. We have a very unfriendly government right now that's not friendly towards immigrants. Okay? They're looking for any excuse to get you out of this country. Any excuse. Listen to my words, guys. Okay? If they can find a reason to boot you out of this country, they will find it. That's who we have in the White House right now. Now, I don't have any problem with Trump and his illegal immigration position on getting illegals out of here. He's doing great. I support that. But he crossed the line when he starts saying he's going to reinvestigate green card holders that have already been adjudicated. That's insane. That's just going to screw up all you guys. It's going to slow down the process for everybody else when it's not necessary. Do you see what I'm saying? It's insane. Well, I don't trust. I don't trust anybody with a green card from these countries that came in after 2021. Why? Biden was president, but the Congress of the United States controls immigration. Okay? You don't get a green card unless you've been thoroughly vetted. So it wasn't Biden who was the problem. In fact, it's not the president who's the problem of anything, other than right now. The vetting's done by the FBI. The U.S. embassies all around the world are tasked with vetting K-1 visa applicants, and the NVC, actually, the National Visa Center in New Hampshire, does it. The National Visa Center in New Hampshire ran a police check on me. They ran police checks on Karina, and then they did it again. The embassy did it again in Bogota, Colombia. And then Interpol investigated Karina. Interpol. They gave her a clean sheet of hell. There you go. You're good to go, Karina. Never been a member of the Communist Party, never joined FARC in Colombia. Everything's great. You are perfectly cleared to enter the United States. Then all of a sudden, they want to review her green card application. Okay, go ahead. But what a waste of freaking time. Right? It's a waste of time. And we don't care. Or you're going to have an interview now because she's from Venezuela. Okay. Let's go. When is it? What day? Okay. Tell us where it is. We'll go. Insane. Francois Livingston, is it snowing there? So Chris wants to know, is it snowing in upstate New York? Did Francois get a nice white Christmas with lots of snow? I don't know. It was snowed here in Florida last year. Karina's like, what the heck? I was like, what the heck? I've been in Florida over 40 years. I've never seen it snow in Florida. But it snowed. It was like this deep. I'm like, this sucks. Francois Livingston, nope, green Christmas. All right. That's good. Yeah, I don't like snow. It messes, I feel sorry for folks that live in states where it snows and it gets icy on the roads and the trucks go out with the salt and lay all the salt on the roads, and then all the salt gets up underneath the car, the trucks and the cars, and especially the school buses. And then, in the summer, the rust starts to kick in. I used to work for Mercedes-Benz. I used to work for Mercedes and BMW. And when we would get cars that were used cars coming in from northern states, the first thing we do is put them up on the lift to see if their undercarriage was rusted out because of all the salt from the roads. And then we'd have to make sure we could fix that somehow before we put them on the lot. You don't want to sell a car that's a piece of junk, right? So Francois is having a green Christmas. We're having a green warm Christmas. It's still 66 degrees here in the Panhandle of Florida. It's Christmas. And we hope that, Papa Noel, we hope that Father Christmas, Santa Claus, I don't know. In South America, it's Papa Noel. In England, it's Father Christmas, I believe. In the United States, it's Santa Claus. I hope he brought you lots of presents, especially for the children. And if you have K2s in the United States right now, especially K2s from those countries that are on the partially banned or banned list, relax. Your children will get their green cards if it's in process, if it's sitting. Don't worry. These people have been vetted thoroughly by embassies and by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And, the government had a knee-jerk reaction when those National Guardsmen one of them was shot and killed. The other one survived, hopefully, we hope, by a person from Afghanistan. What the heck is that going to do with people from Venezuela who've been vetted already and are in the country? Nothing. What has it got to do with Niger, Sierra Leone? Well, nothing, right? Well, we don't know if those countries we don't know if those countries create official documents. My wife's got a Venezuelan passport. It's as official as you can get. There's nothing wrong with it. The Colombian government thoroughly looked at it before they issued her a Colombian residency visa. There's nothing wrong with Venezuelans' passports. So when the government says, well, we got to check on we don't think the documents are good, it's a bunch of horse crap. Chris, well, everyone is tight with money this year. It wasn't the biggest of Christmas, right? No, as inflation's killing everybody. Sales are way down. Things are expensive. No help with funds for Christmas gifts. And we have 334 million people under the bus with no help. Right. Inflation is a killer. Especially when you go to Walmart or Publix or wherever you buy your food at, your groceries, look at the price of stuff. It's insane. The price of living is extremely high. And it sucks. The price of gas is coming down, which should reduce some of that burden because it's going to cost less to transport goods across the United States from ports. Goods arrive. If you want to move agricultural goods from Utah or Colorado, wherever, if you want to move goods around across the country, it shouldn't be as expensive. So that should bring down the price of food somewhat. We hope. Right? I don't believe the tariffs are doing much damage to our economy. They're helping our economy, actually, I think. Especially the tariffs only affect stuff coming in mainly from communist China. Communist China, why would you buy anything from communist China? Why would anybody want to do business with that country? They're intent on invading Taiwan. They want to reclaim, they want to say it's ours. Really? And then we buy stuff from China in Walmart or wherever. And then some of that profit goes to fund the Chinese government, which they're going to use to invade Taiwan with. Doesn't make any sense to me. You heard, Chris, I heard some states it's $1.86 a gallon. Yeah, it's pretty low price for gas. That's good. When the price of gas comes down to like $1.50, $1.80 a gallon, then the price of food's going to come down. The cost of clothes, unless they're from a country that's got a tariff on it. So I understand Trump's mindset. He wants manufacturing to come on here into the United States. If you manufacture in the United States and then you have low gas prices and diesel costs to transport the goods from the factories, you're going to have lower costs instead of buying stuff from China. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why we even started doing business with China. Why do we let them buy land in this country? Why are communist Chinese governments and businesses allowed to buy farmland in the United States? Somebody explain that to me. That's crazy. Especially near military bases. Communist Chinese officials under some kind of shell company buying land up around military bases so they can keep an eye on our military bases. And the government of the United States allows that? Seriously? Doesn't make sense to me. And yet they're worried about somebody from Venezuela on a green card who's already been vetted by the US government and by foreign governments. We need a new government. We need a new White House. We need a new Secretary of Homeland Security. Although Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is doing a great job, I don't want to see him lose his job. But the Secretary of Homeland Security, when she starts bad mouthing immigrants, I don't know what she said exactly. So it's just not good. It's un-American. If you don't like somebody, keep your opinion to yourself. Right? I don't like people from this country. Okay. So what? They may not like you. Fazak, silver hit $79 in Shanghai today, $72 in the United States. Silver, yeah. That's interesting. I don't know how gold is doing or Bitcoin, but gold is a good investment. The price of gold goes up and down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. But in 20 years from now, if you have $30,000 worth of gold, in 10 years from now, it's probably going to be worth $60,000 or maybe $100,000. I'm not an investor or giving people investment advice, but paper money is worthless pretty much. The dollar is just paper. It's got no value to it other than what the government allows at the Federal Reserve. But gold has an intrinsic value. Gold and silver will be massive in 2026. Well, yeah, buy gold. If you got 10 grand sitting in the bank making 0.725% interest, take that 10 grand and buy 10 grand worth of gold. And then just put it in a safe somewhere and forget about it for about 5 years if you don't need the money. That's the only way it's going to get that's the only way you're going to make any money off of that $10,000, because paper money is worthless pretty much because of inflation. Cornell Rivers, what's up? Hello there, Cornell. What's going on? How are you? How's your family? Merry Christmas. This is Christmas Day. Okay. Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus on this day. Some people say he wasn't born on the 25th. Some people say he was born on this day. This is the day we celebrate the birth of Jesus. Peace around the world, we hope for, right? Peace in the United States, peace between countries, prosperity. How did Jesus come into the world? He was born into a poor family, right? In Bethlehem. And then he had nothing, just a basic living. He was poor, but he was richest man on the planet, actually, but you would never know it, right? And here we are in 2025, almost 2026, and his name is still being spoken, right? Now, I don't care what religion you are. I mean, Jewish, Muslim, I don't care, Christian. Whatever religion you practice, we respect that in the United States. And I'm Christian, so I believe in Jesus and God. And if you are Muslim, you believe in Muhammad. And if you're Jewish, you may not believe that Jesus was the Savior. You may believe he was just a prophet, but that's fine. Whatever your opinion is, whatever your beliefs are on this channel, you're free to believe whatever you want. Because my goal is to help you get your K-1 visa and your green card. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I respect them. I don't care anything other than helping you get your K1 and your green card. That's what I want to do. So silver, blue past Microsoft in value, Fazak said. Wow. You're talking stock market value, right? So buy silver and gold. If you got 10 grand in the bank, buy 10 grand worth of silver or gold. Like get 8 grand worth of gold and 2 grand worth of silver. You can get it in coins and put it and get yourself a nice secure safe and put it in a safe at your house. And then forget about it for about 5 years. You can easily sell gold. Let's see here. Cornell Rivers doing good. National Visa Center has sent my case to the embassy in Senegal. Okay. So now you're in the hurry up and wait process. So the National Visa Center conducted a FBI check on you, Cornell. You passed all the security checks. The K1 visa application was studied. There was no errors. Everything's good. So now it's on a DHL chartered plane going to Senegal. When it gets there, you're going to now need to be looking out for the packet 3, packet 4 email from the consulate in Senegal, or I think it's embassy. Okay, that's what you're going to do. You're going to get the in-transit status, and then when you get the packet 3, packet 4 email, check your spam email. It could go into there, but that's going to be the directions on how to file for the K1 visa interview and file the DS-160. Make sure your beneficiary knows in Senegal, the MVC has sent your case to the embassy. Make sure you notify your beneficiary, okay? Fazak, it's about to dethrone NVIDIA as the #1 stock trade. Holy cow, that's pretty cool. That's amazing. Thank goodness we live in a capitalist country, right? I'll give Trump one thing, at least he's a capitalist. At least he's trying to help everybody create money. I just don't like him jacking around with green card holders who are married to American citizens. I don't like that. Chris, what is the safest good company to buy gold? Well, that's a personal decision, but you can buy gold from the US government. You can Google it, go online, Google it, explore it, go into Google, say, you want to buy some gold and check it out, see what companies pop up, and then look at their reviews, and then do background research on these companies. Make sure they're for real. You can do some homework on it, some legwork. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour almost. It's Christmas Day. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas with your family. Okay, if you're separated from your loved ones, make sure that you get on the phone or the WhatsApp or the Yahoo Messenger or the Zoom calls. Make your Christmas and screenshot that. Make sure you got evidence of communication with your loved one for Christmas Day with your beneficiaries. Okay, make sure that gets included in your K1 visa application. Make sure it goes in your 2-year green card application. Make sure you have evidence of wishing your beneficiary a Merry Christmas. If you happen to be a Christian that believes in Christmas, you need to show that as evidence for the K1 visa interview, the K1 visa application, for the 2-year green card interview. Okay? When I was in Florida and Karina was in Colombia, Christmas Day, I'm on WhatsApp. We probably spoke for 3 or 4 hours, and I'm doing screenshots of us talking. That went in the K1 visa application. If you are from one of those 20-something countries that are on a partial block or a block for entry into the United States or for processing green cards or adjudication, relax. Stuff like that is temporary. The Congress is in charge of that. If the Republican Congress is going to continue to jack around with American citizens and their families, they're not going to hold on to power for much longer. And also, Fazak, rest in peace to Adam the Woo. Very sad. Now, Adam the Woo was a famous YouTuber. He was one of the pioneers of YouTube vlogging. He started his YouTube channel in 2009, and he was dead poor. He was living in his van, had no money. He had scraping gas money together, scraping money for food, and he started a YouTube channel on his cell phone. Okay. and he vlogged since 2009. Well, he passed away at his house in Celebration, Florida on December 22nd. And YouTuber German in Venice allegedly found him by climbing up a ladder, looking in his window, and saw him laid out on his bed, called the police. The police came in and found out that he passed away after he just completed a almost 1-month tour of Europe making videos. So Adam the Woo was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched that gave me the ideas to create a YouTube channel, a cooking channel. I said, if this guy can do it, I can do it. So I watched Adam the Woo for about 5-6 years on YouTube. Okay. Now, his YouTube channel has got absolutely nothing to do with K1 visas or green cards. But he was an inspiration to me to actually start and do this. So if you get a chance, watch some of his videos. Adam the Woo, he went from being in total poverty in 2009. And when he passed away, they're estimating his net worth at around $5 million. And how did he make $5 million? From his YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me on Christmas Day. Fazak and Francois says, say big hello to Karina. Fazak says, this decade's Charles Kuralt. Yeah, Adam the Woo is famous across this country. He has, and then you said, no, it's not Jordan the Lion, it's Days with Jordan the Lion. Did a heartbreaking blog, truly sad. Yeah, I watched that. Days from Jordan the Lion, another YouTuber, did what is like a very sad blog on his friend Jordan, Adam the Woo. They were hanging out together in Hollywood together when Jordan the Lion and Days with Jordan the Lion and Adam the Woo were starting out. It's horrible. I don't like to see people pass away. Cornell Rivers, Gambia is on the list for partial restriction. Will that make a delay in the process? It will make a delay, but it will eventually get adjudicated. It's going to be a delay. Yes. I know it's not good. I know it sucks. I know, but here's the thing, right? Gambia is on the list of partial restriction. Come March 2nd, USCIS is going to be up to its eyeballs in legal litigation with immigration attorneys. And trust me, it's not going to look good, especially for Republicans this close to an election year. Chris, see you Saturdays. See you guys. Merry Christmas. I'm going to go get something to eat. And thanks for joining with me here on Christmas Day. Fazak gets the last word. Famous worldwide. Yeah, Adam the Woo, famous worldwide.